A little busier this morning, but not much. It's pretty slow. It seems like the thing consuming most of the news cycle is these strikes, which I had said, regardless of what happens, I don't think anything's going to happen. I don't think it's not going to impact anything. It's not like people are lined up out the door to buy cars anyway. You go buy a car lot now and it's dead. Um, Still no real new levels because we really didn't move much. We didn't move much overnight. We didn't move much this morning. We're not moving much now. I am going to take this trade, this 44.8450, which is an S2, but we put this alert in back on the 12th. So, and this one still hasn't hit. So I'm going to leave that one there. That one looks to me like probably the best setup. And then if you're looking for, S1 is not bad today, right? We had a couple of touches yesterday that we bounced off of. I don't know if it's really a high probability one, but it's one, again, where if you see some low momentum coming down there, that may not be a bad one to hop on. But I wouldn't really rank it up there as much as the S2. I think the S2 is going to be probably the trade of the day. All right, and then actually need to put this here. And that's pretty much it on the ES. Again, not a lot of movement, not really a lot going on in general. Kind of has the makings of another day where, literally I think you could probably pack it in by 10:30, 11 o'clock. Now, I know there's a lot of rumors circulating around as well about China possibly taking over Taiwan. That could add a lot of volatility. You're going to add a ton of volatility. I mean, not just a lot. Could add a ton. We kind of need some volatility in the market right now because everything is. I mean, look at the VIX. It's been at 15, and we've been at this level, this 15, 14 level for a while. It does appear that there is a little bit of volatility kind of creeping in here, with the VIX being at 15. Really don't get into the wheelhouse of volatility until we, kind of get over 20, in my opinion. That's kind of when you really want to start really kind of piling on your volatility plays. But, nonetheless, that's kind of it on the ES. Russell, same thing. No big changes there. I'm really not even going to talk about it at all because there's nothing in here at all. I mean, it looks like garbage, really. And it's been kind of a garbage trade. Crude still waiting on these couple levels to kind of pop. 91.78 and then 93.38. And so that's it. I mean, and then there's really nothing much else to do, in my opinion, in crude. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. Possibly an S3, but that's a big move in crude, getting back down to 89.16. Now, we did attempt to do it late last week. Got that big wick. Got APIs coming out tonight after the close. That is again a big move, and I don't really see any catalyst to get down to that level unless OPEC comes out and says, or whoever it is, it's not even OPEC at this point. It's basically the Saudis and Russia cutting production. It's all Putin's fault. Got to blame it on somebody, right? That's really what it comes down to. It's the American way. Blame it on somebody because it's never your fault. Um, yeah, I mean that's a big move. So I don't even know if that's likely. Chances are, everyone's calling for $100 oil now, which kind of makes me believe that maybe we don't get there now because everybody's calling for it. That's usually the way it works. Is when everyone kind of runs to one side of the boat, it's usually got a good setup for things to kind of collapse. At least maybe it will get there, but maybe not as fast as everyone believes. And that's kind of it in the commodity world. I don't even want to look at soybeans. Things kind of pissing me off. Real nice bounce off S2 last night. If you managed to get this trade after hours, real nice bounce and a little bit of a reversal. But these things just really haven't been doing dreck. They haven't been doing nothing. Absolutely nothing. And so that's kind of the size of that. There's a couple, is there earnings? I think there's a couple of earnings tonight. I think there's a couple of earnings tonight. Let's take a look. Let's see. And then we'll take a look at those. AutoZone, I ain't going to touch that. No, it's too high priced. That's garbage. Garbage. General Mills. Actually, General Mills looks pretty decent here. So this is one you're going to have to do before the bell. So you're going to have to do this one today before the close. But this 68.4 is good, is a good IV rank. A problem with General Mills is I don't believe, it says it's got a 5-star liquidity. I'm a little shocked by that. I don't recall this actually being a very, there's definitely not a lot of premium in here at all. Expecting a $3 move. There is nothing to do in here. And unfortunately, the nice thing is that there's high volatility, but unfortunately, there is really nothing to do. At least in November, there's like no open interest anywhere. And why that gets, I mean, October has tons of it. So you probably have to stick to October. I wouldn't know what to do in here. And chances are the margins probably suck in here. Yeah, they suck. And I wouldn't know what to do because there's nothing. I mean, I'm not going to sell something for 35 and 65 cents and use $900 or buy. You can't do crap in here. You can't do anything. I mean, maybe you do like a really, and they're not even $5. They got the $2.50 wide. I mean, maybe you do a really super tight iron condor like this and take like a 50-50 shot. That it basically does nothing, and then it pretty much sits. That's it. That's all you got here. I mean, this isn't a bad trade because you're only risking $144. And it's a 50-50 shot. I mean, that's really tight. And it's because it's a $2 wide, a $2.50 wide iron condor. But I don't think you're going to be able to bring in anything worthwhile. That's it. That's all I would see that you could do. And then FedEx is tomorrow. So that's tomorrow after the bell. So we can do that one tomorrow so we don't have to worry about it. I can see how things trade. And that's it. That's all there is to it. So General Mills, I don't even know how this is done, stock-wise. Let's take a look at the stock real quick and see how it's done. I haven't even watched it. I own it, too. I own the stock somewhere in one of my accounts. I've had it forever. It's one of those stocks I've had forever. Let's see what it looks like on a 4-hour. Yeah, I mean, they've really beaten the shit out of it. Really beating the shit out of it bad. I mean, it was up to $92, right? 92 and change. I mean, I see some support possibly around 62. Definitely around 60 bucks, but really a lot of gravity to 53. That's a big move, another $10 take out of there. That's a big one. I mean, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. I don't really see anything in here that's very attractive from a trading point of view. As I said, the super tight iron condor is probably the easiest thing to do. Basically take a 50-50 shot that it lands in this zone. You only have less than 30 days. So you're going to, if it does nothing or it goes up a buck or two or down a buck or two, you'll actually do okay in this because you'll get two things. You'll get some volatility crush. You're not going to make a ton of money in this. But there you have it. And that's it. That's all that's going on. There is really not a hell of a lot going on. I was looking at natural gas. I still like that long-term play. I'm just going to throw that out there. And natural gas is in a true, I actually just did it. It's in actually kind of like a true wedge here. Natural gas. And there you have it. And there's natural gas. So it is definitely wedging up, and it's getting close to at the top here. Possibly it breaks out. But I have, continued to kind of pile in. I'm not going to pile in, but definitely have been adding on long to natural gas. All right. Okay. And so that's it. There's nothing else going on. Who gives a shit about Bitcoin and ETH and all those? I don't care about that stuff. I don't. Until I can go use Bitcoin at Walmart or, wherever else I pay, I don't fucking care about it. There you go. You heard it. You heard it first here. Otherwise, it's just a bunch of, that whole marketplace is just a bunch of fucking people who were fucking hanging drywall 4 years ago. No, I got nothing wrong with, look, I got no issues with people who do drywall. I think that's a fucking great art. I wish I could do it as good as those guys. Those guys are workhorses, man. I just use it as a reference. Like, they were doing that. Now they're all like influencers in Bitcoin, and it just shocks me that they're all around the same age. They're all like between the age of like 25 and 40. And and nobody knew who the fuck they were before like 2017, 2018. And now they're all over the place. And like, and it's funny to now watch all those people in that space they've all collapsed. Like everybody who were the big influencers in that space, they have all collapsed and gone away because they've had to change their tune literally like every 6 months. And it's finally caught up where people are like, you were just talking about something else like 6 months ago, and now you're talking about this. It's like, oh God. Because all they did, and sadly people in that space, in that crypto space, is they made a ton of money influencing people to go and buy all those shit coins that were out there. That half of them aren't even on exchanges anymore or just outright gone. And that's where they made all their money, was pushing people on all that crap. I mean, classic pump and dump. And now they all have their tail between their legs, and you can see them. They're all falling off the fucking earth one by one. And now there's not even that many of them left. Thank God. But again, until I can go use it at Walmart or fill my car up with gas with it, I don't give a shit about it. Because if you have to convert it into cash, it is not what it says it is. And so don't even give me the argument of anything else. I'm in tech. I'm a tech guy. I'm well aware of the technology, and I understand that whole piece of it, and I get it. and I'm not a technical idiot, but until it's able to be used that way, shut the fuck up. Because in order for it to have any value right now in the state of how things are, I have to convert it into cash, into dollars, into euros, into some sort of currency. So if I don't have to do that, now look, I get it. There's some places that will accept it as a, and that's fine, but it's not mainstream. And so until that happens, I don't really give a shit about it. Stay the fuck out of my face. Do I have a little bit? Yeah, sure, I do. I have a little bit of fucking everything. I just told you I own General Mills. I've owned a little bit of that. I own Tesla. So what does that mean? Doesn't mean anything. So there you have it. There's a little rant on some of this. And I personally think that this marketplace is in trouble. It's in trouble because lack of liquidity. And what I mean by lack of liquidity, you got these exchanges that are literally just drying up one after another. And pretty soon there's not going to be anything left. I think what saved Bitcoin and Ethereum, and nobody probably wants to admit it, especially the jerk-offs in this space, is the CME has actually saved these. Because by creating futures on these, they've kind of gave it some liquidity. Because without them, I think Bitcoin would probably be fucking $5,000 now. So say whatever you want, but them, the CME creating the futures on those products, saved their ass. So there you have it. Nothing more to report. And I got in under 30 minutes, only 16 minutes today. So there's not a hell of a lot going on. So I don't like to be one to just sit and blather like I just did. And so anyway, good luck today. And then General Mills is really the only stock trade. And then the other levels on the ES, Russell, and possibly Russell. I didn't even go over the Russell. The Russell's been suck ass. And crude. That's really the places to trade of late. Have been, and it's been really crude has been the market to that's moved with any kind of price action. So anyway, have a good one. And I will be back to